right, folks, so let's talk about the hands-on projects, which you will find here. Here's Mod 3 and 4. This is the first set of hands-on projects, and it's just what you would expect. It's installing Splunk and putting in some data so you can see it go. So download Splunk. There's a version for Windows, Mac, and Linux. If you have a Linux operating system with graphics, you can do it this way. If you have a headless Linux server and you use only the command line, you can do it this way. Most students are probably using Windows or the Mac. And I should mention, if you use the Windows machines in this room, be aware that I think they have deep freeze on them, which means when you restart them, they will forget everything you've done. So you can work on them, but they'll forget everything next time you come in. So you'll have to reinstall Splunk and everything if you want to keep doing projects in here. That's the thing to be aware of. That's why you have the best experience if you use your own computer. But anyway, install Splunk on your machine, and when you install it, you'll have to choose a username and password. Just use anything you won't forget. I recommended some stuff here just for me. So I've already installed Splunk on my Mac here. So let me start it. Splunk app. I just downloaded it and run. I'm going to show Splunk. All right, and as I said, here's Splunk, localhost 8000. So Splunk runs, and it starts a web server on your local machine, and you connect with localhost :8000. And then it wants a username and password, so I put in admin and my password I chose. All right, and now I'm into Splunk. And this is the home page of Splunk. And in fact, let me put this in Opera because it's a prettier browser. I've set my main browser to a sort of ugly dark mode in some theory that it's healthier. But anyway, admin. All right, so this is the Splunk's home page, and I don't really need to save the password manager. All right, so here you see there's product. Here's where the main thing we're going to use is add data, to put data in here. And here's the search feature we're going to use to search through that data. And that's really pretty much all we're going to use right now. So let me get the instructions. I think I'll get them in this browser. There's 50, and the projects are here. Okay, so I'm going to put these two tabs next to each other. All right, so once you got Splunk running, this is called Splunk Web, the Splunk web page. And here they want you to create a user with the power role. So I'm going to split my window so I can see the instructions and Splunk at the same time. There we go. All right. So it's at the top here, there's settings, and then there's users and authentic. Okay. And I think users are what I want. Yeah, users, then new users. Okay. Somehow I lost it. Oh, because I'm in the wrong browser, that's why. It's this, there we are. So there, now I'm in users, and there should be a new user button, and there it is. So it's new user, and they want me to give it a name, uname. All right. And this silly password, Splunk bcup. I gotta use the right key press to get there. There we are. Set password. Confirm password, okay. And in assign roles, remove user and give them power. So that is, by default, it is got user over here. So I remove that, and I make them a power user. And this is very much like how you make Windows users or any other user interface. And I think that's it. I don't need to create a new role or anything. I'm just going to create this user, so that is here, save. All right. So yeah.
Email address part,
I left it blank.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. All right. And all right, now I got to put on the data. And this is the data, Splunk F1 data.zip. And I'll just download it. There it is. So it's on my Mac now. When you double click it, it will open. And if you're on a Windows machine, you have to right click, extract to get in there. And in here, you'll find 3 log files, a database file, a Linux server file, and a web server access file. And these are just logs from these. This is what we're going to have, is 3 files full of logs to search into. And we have to import these 3 things, and they're different types of common data. So the point here is you get practice adding the data. So it's add data, upload, and then we're going to start with access 30 days. So let me try that. It's go home by clicking the Splunk logo, then add data. Then I don't need the tour, so I'm going to skip it. And I'm going to upload some data. And so I select a file, and it's going to be the Access 30-day. Let me go to my Downloads folder, and it's this, but it's the folder unzipped stuff. Where's the unzipped folder? All right, I'm having trouble finding it. Let me go see. Here it is. Right, it's in a thing called temp2. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I guess it calls the folder temp2 when you unzip it on this Mac for some reason. All right, so that's why I didn't find it. So there it is, temp2. Okay, there's the file I want anyway. All right, so I think I want, is it a DB one? It's the Access 30-day. Okay, it's the web server logs. Okay, there. So select that and open. Now it's going to move the data up. Now I go next. Now it's going to, here's what the data looks like. It'll show me what the log entries look like. So over here you see something like a post cart, post product. These are web requests connecting with a shopping website. And I can have to tell it what kind of data it is. So Splunk automatically set the source type correctly as access combined with cookie. So Splunk should, yeah, it did. So access combined with cookie. This is a web access log for standard web server, and Splunk recognized that. I didn't have to tell it, because it's a common kind of data. Okay, and so now I just next web application. So since Splunk identified the data, I can just go next, and I guess I better shut the door. Anyway, then I can give it a name, which I think is the host name. Yeah, I want the host name to be web_application. And you have to get this right, by the way, or the future instructions won't see it. Otherwise, it's going to give it a really stupid name like Sam's MacBook Air, the name of the computer I'm using. But I don't care. So it's web application. There. Trying to make sure I get that right. Web application. All right. That's the only thing you have to do for this, review and submit. So review and submit. Okay, that's uploading the file, that's putting that data in the in there. All right, and now I got two other kinds of data to put in. So Linux 30-day log is the next one, and I'm going to have to do something special about the type, but let's try that. So I go back to, I want to add more data, so that's an option, add more data. Upload a file again, and I want the Linux 30-day data, so that is here, Linux 30-day. All right, and these Linux server logs are not recognized by the Splunk by default. So I gotta go next, and see, it doesn't know what it is, so it calls it default. So we're gonna have to tell it what type it is. Manually select the source type by selecting source type and Linux secure. So, I'm not seeing it. Let me go see if I can understand. Manual by selecting the source type button. Oh, this, and then Linux secure. Okay, so that's up here. There, I should find Linux secure somewhere down here. And I am not finding it. What happens if I type Linux? There it is, Linux Secure. Okay, that was harder than I thought it would be, but if you type it, it searches, and there's Linux Secure. So it is a Linux security log, which for some reason Splunk didn't recognize by default, which is kind of silly, but that's the way it is. And then it's just next web server is the name of the host name. So it's next, and this is, again, going to try to name it after my MacBook, and that's not right. It's the web server log, review, and submit. All right. And now I got one more thing to ingest, which is databases. So it's the DB audit, and that will automatically detect the source, I think, again, so it'll be easy. So it's add more data, upload, select file, DB audit, and next. And it detected it as a CSV, which I think is what we want. Yep, CSV is okay. Oh no, we want to create a new source type. So we click Save As, and we create a new type. Okay, so it's a DB audit, Postgres. Okay, So this is how you import data that it doesn't recognize at all. We're going to create a new type, save as. We're going to create a new type of data called DB audit. And the description is going to be Postgres audit log. So this is the logs from a Postgres server, which is one of the less common servers. But it's out there. And the category is database and the app is system. Okay. Database, system. All right. And then it's save next database as the value. Save. Next. Database is the name of that. Review and submit. Now I've got some data in my Splunk. And now I'm going to find a flag. Now, by the way, this is how all the projects go. There's a bunch of instructions, and then there's going to be a flag at the end with this green box around it. That's how you know what you need to turn in. So we're going to search through that data we just put in. That's how you show that you've done it correctly. So I go to Start Searching, and I'm going to skip the tour. Here we are at the main page. All right, and now I don't want to run a search. I want to just go to the default search. I'll click Search there, an empty search. Because what you do is it should, last 24 hours, I have to change, well, I should summarize the data here. That's why I'm a little troubled about this. Let me see. At the top left, click the enterprise logo. I should see a data summary button in the lower center. Oh, there it is, data summary. Okay. I'm used to seeing it on the right, but for some reason it's on the left here. Data summary is what you want. This will show the data you put in. And there you are, 3 kinds of data: database, web application, and web server. And you can compare that picture to the one I have here, and you see 131,645 is right, and 63, okay, this is what you want. That's the right screen. You should have numbers in all 3 categories, and this number is the flag. So now you take a screen image, and you go into Canvas and turn them in. Let me show you that. If you go in, so you go to samsclass.info, and then CNET 50, and then you go to the quizzes section where you can enroll in my Canvas server. If you haven't used it before, you'll have to create an account, enroll. You can use any email you would like, but please use your real name so I can tell who to give the grade to at the end of the class. And then you'll be in a course here. Yes. All right. And I'll go to Student View to see what you will see. So here's my server. And you'll see that there is a project, there's some quizzes, and here's the project, Mod 3 to 4. So you go here, and when you start the assignment, you'll be able to upload an image that you captured, and in the comment field, you can type that number. That was the hidden value that you see under this flag. So that's how you turn in your homework. You find, you capture the screenshot that you see in the green box, and you capture the value that you see under the hit green mask here. That's the flag, and that's what you submit. That's how my grader looks at that, and if it's right, you get your points, and if not, then you can ask for help and such. So that's the progress, and that's what you should all start doing, getting Splunk working and turning in this stuff in Canvas. And you should start taking the first few quizzes and reviewing the first few modules, which you can get from the course materials. You can read the slides. There is no textbook. The slides are all we have. That's all Splunk gave me, and it's really all you need. Like I say, this is pretty simple stuff. It's not at all like the content of a normal 3-unit course. It's much less. That's why it's a 1-unit course. So are there any questions? Let me check the online people to see if questions are appearing here, which is here. Okay. Yeah, LastPass. Yeah, some people say LastPass is not a good one. That's right. You can argue about it. In-depth security architecture courses, API security. That's right. There is some stuff like that. All right. Yeah, getting a master's. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, Dashlane. Some people like Dashlane. Yeah, other people say Bitwarden is good. 1Password. These are all good comments. Yeah, I'm still using LastPass. I'm not sure it's worth moving off it. Although Steve Gibson did move off it. They did get hacked and they handle it pretty badly. Such is life. Where's the link to the Splunk down? Okay, you found it. Okay. Good. Other people are posting it. Can we get a voucher for the Splunk exam? No, we don't have any of them. That would be nice. But we don't have any relationship with Splunk to get that. Someone keeps getting an error when trying to install Splunk. Well, that's right on target. Oh, by the way, let me stop this recording and I'll start helping people. All right, so